Okay, we're on the south side of the house. This is where the gas enters the south side of the house. That's the gas, and the meter is right over there, but we're here for the air conditioning system. This is the condensing unit. It's over here on the south side of the house. We do not have a rain diverter over the condensing unit, so nothing's keeping the rain from coming over here and prematurely aging the condensing unit. Now, the electric service disconnect is supposed to be on the other side. It's supposed to be out from behind it. You're not supposed to have to go behind the condensing unit to work on the electric disconnect. So we planted a tree here, and now we can't get to the disconnect to operate it. Okay, so we have insufficient access to the disconnect. The disconnect should be sealed on 3 sides to help prevent moisture infiltration from getting into the walls. And if we look inside of here, this is the dead front cover plate for it. I'll put that back. But when we look inside of here, we'll see the little wires. Look at the wires at the bottom. See where it says off? And the wires at the bottom? That's just a junction. That is not a disconnect. This disconnect has been bypassed. It has been bypassed. This is electric power coming to the unit. I guess that could be a little more secure too. This whole box needs to be replaced. You're not going to find a disconnect to fit inside of there. But it's been bypassed, so that's not a good thing. That is not a good thing. So we come over here, and is it level? It's almost level. It's almost level, but it's a little crooked. It's a little crooked. This is our data plate. This is where we learned that it's 2 years old. Congratulations. This equipment is engineered on paper to last 20 years. You might get 30 years use out of it. I hope so. But Las Vegas is going to give you 14. They last about 14. It's still a new unit. It's only 2 years old. So, I mean, no such thing as new in real estate, but you know, it's only 2 years old. So it's got should have plenty of life. Sometimes they only last 5 years. The water's coming off. Okay. What else did we learn about this thing? It's 2 years old. We also learned that it is a 4-ton system. A 4-ton system. And we also learned that it has... Where are you? I found you earlier. It's in here. I can recite it from memory. 410A refrigerant. Okay? 410A is no longer manufactured in the United States. It's no longer legally imported in the United States. They learned their lesson. They learned their lesson with the R22. There's plenty of stockpiles of that. Alright? But as the stockpiles diminish, servicing this equipment is going to become more expensive. Another thing, just because you have the refrigerant doesn't mean you have the equipment. You'll always be able to buy a fan. You'll probably always be able to buy a relay switch. But as far as a high or low pressure switch, as far as a compressor, as far as coils inside or outside, none of that, as it's being sold off the shelves, it's not being replaced. So parts for this are going to become scarce. So that's something to think about because they're no longer manufacturing this stuff. That makes service imperative because it might get 35 years. You might get 20. I hope you get 14. I hope you get better than that. But that's why you want to service it. Coming along here, this is our high pressure refrigerant line, and this is our low pressure refrigerant line, piping, okay? And this insulation is no longer allowed. It was actually illegal to install this according to energy codes. Alright, this is supposed to be more robust, and it's thicker, harder, so it doesn't dry out from the sun and peel all off. Like you probably remember the old one. You probably remember what the old one looked like. You hope the new one lasts longer, and it would if it was the right type of insulation. But it's not. That's a new rule. 2015 new rule. It's a 10-year-old rule. Okay. Now over here, speaking of 10-year-old rules, these Schrader valve caps, look that up. But your refrigerant piping, service valve port, access caps should be anti-theft. You should have anti-theft caps there. Since 2015. This should have been hard-coated insulation since 2015. So we don't have that, we don't have this. So what do we learn? Our disconnect's not accessible, our disconnect's not sealed, our disconnect has been bypassed. Our power supply cord to the disconnect is loose. I said not accessible. We do not have a rain diverter over the condensing unit. We have the wrong type of insulation on the refrigerant piping and the wrong type of caps on the service valves. And then we'll find out more when we get to look inside the breaker box about if it was sized properly. Oh, and it's basically, man, I don't know, man. It's a judgment call. It depends on how cranky I am when I write the report if I'm going to say this isn't level or not.